people can be unpleasant then, can they?
It can be.
What do they do?
If I'm with a couple of my mates, they don't do anything like. But if, say I was on my own and there was about 2 of them or 3 of them, they'd like try and give it.
Try and give it?
Give it a big one, like, start getting mouthy and all that.
It must be nice sometimes when girls come up and...
If they're nice, yeah. If they're nice girls. It's good if they're nice girls.
You get a load of screaming girls who love Robbie or they love Ziggy, and I mean, everywhere I've been, all they ask about is Robbie or Ziggy. That's all you ever hear. I mean, you don't get many boys asking about the girls. I've never come across a boy who said, oh yeah, she's nice or whatever.
Well, why is that?
I don't know.
Well, boys like girls, why shouldn't they ask that?
I don't. I think that girls are just a lot more into good-looking boys on telly. I don't think boys really care.
At the moment, you get more letters than anybody else in the cast. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, I never even knew I got more letters than anybody else, man. Never know. It's nice, isn't it? I don't know.
Do you read the letters?
Yeah.
What do they say to you?
Just you got a hunky body and all things like that. And I love you and all this. All soppy letters and all that. But it ain't soppy to them, because that's what my mum said. My mum said, yeah, I had a crush on Robert Redford when I was younger. And was...
So you're a sort of Robert Redford, are you?
No. Putting words into my mouth.
But this song on top of my wardrobe in a big box. Read them in a few years.
Your fan letters are all on top of your wardrobe?
Yeah, like in a big hi-fi box. Got them, read a few, put them in there. You know, they're in my room, I won't ever throw them away or not, you know.
Normally the people who send letters are sort of trying to be nice to you. They sort of say, you know, they like the way you act. They think the way you portray your character is good. Those sort of things. Don't get a lot of them.
You don't get these love letters that some of the boys get?
No, not a lot, no. Just the odd one or two. Can't explain it.
When you get older, you do things called PAs or personal appearances at discos and places like that. They're good fun, but you can get a bit nervous sometimes.
Last night I was dreaming, I was locked in a prison cell. When I woke up, I was screaming, calling out your name.
I get frightened. I never go on my own. I always go like, I'll take my old man with me, you know. And my uncle, because he's a minder, so he obviously goes. I go take a couple of my mates with me as well, big fans, you know, who can handle themselves.
Okay, so are you ready for Freddie? Are you ready for Freddie? Right, give him a warm round of applause. Freddie, how you doing?
Okay, George, you ready?
Yeah.
Come on.
I never thought I'd have girls screaming at me, you know what I mean? I never thought that. Just go in like, it's just like, sometimes it's like being an animal in a cage, you know, all these girls screaming at you, like looking at you.
George Christopher at Grange Hill. What did you think of that for an entrance?
It certainly must give them a lot of confidence to do that, because, you know, them girls can be quite frightening when there's about 500 screaming at you, asking you a lot of personal questions.
And Freddie, lots of people are asking, how old are you? How old are you now?
17.
17.
Have you got a girlfriend?
No, not at the moment, no.
Do you think he's good looking?
Yeah! Boxer shorts or boyfriend?
Yeah.
No, I'm wearing a pair of boxer shorts.
Boxer shorts.
What are you wearing, Ben?
Nothing.
Would you like to kiss Freddie on the cheek?
You're embarrassing me now.
I wouldn't say I'm shy, but I don't like doing things that I wouldn't normally do. I don't really like being seen, particularly.
But that's strange if you're an actor.
Well, no, but I mean, I'm in Grange Hill. I carry on being in Grange Hill because I like acting, but I don't like being in the public eye, as it were.
But I would have thought actors always like being in the public eye.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the exception.
Only you can set me free, 'cause I'm guilty, guilty, guilty as a girl can be. Come on, baby, can't you see? I stand accused of love in the first degree.
Can I sign you up?
Of course you can.
You will come to my rescue. Change my heart.
Do you think all this might make you conceited?
I don't think I'm conceited. I think that's probably a conceited comment in itself, but it's not real, is it? I mean, they're shouting at an image they've seen on television. They're not shouting at me. They don't know me. They've never met me before. I mean, and that's how I got to look at it.
Can you get your cue, please? I don't even look down here. All right? Come on. Much better.
What sort of school is Grange Hill, do you think?
I think it's the case that Mrs. McCluskey runs a good school, but discipline is quite tight. And although there are one or two contretemps, it is a well-run, very caring school.
It's a sort of school that I would, in the days when I trained teachers, have been happy to have teachers working in, trainee teachers working in, sort of school I've been happy to send my own children to.
I think it's a very happy place. I think they have a caring head, and a head who knows most of the characters in the school. I would have been very happy to have worked in Grange Hill had it been a real school. The problems there seem fairly easy to solve, and it seems quite a jolly place.
I think, you know, you sense that it's run by wit, intelligence, care and concern, rather than very tight rules. I mean, it's a school representing some of the better characteristics of education in the 1980s and avoiding some of the worst characteristics of education, the sort that I had when I was at a grammar school in the 1940s.
Does it give you an impression of being a well-run school?
No. No.
Why?
I think there's far too much corridor wandering, for one, and I don't think we tolerate that. Pupils in a classroom before a lesson starts is a bad idea.
You were right after the other day.
Yeah, not bad, you.
Yeah, thanks.
I don't see an awful lot of evidence of work being done. You know, it's always the art project, or at least this is the impression I got, or I think the radio project. You never actually see, now you have 45 minutes to do this essay of mice and men under exam conditions. Please do so. Again, 45 minutes of watching kids write wouldn't make the headlines, but I think that comes across to kids as well.
Right, gather round, please. Gather round. That's it. Right. After the splendour of the science block and the gym, we now find ourselves in the main playground of the school. Now, the buildings to your left were built sometime in the past and have not yet fallen down, which accounts for the fact they're still here.
It isn't really that similar to normal schools because, I mean, I can't think of anyone who's like Grange, personally. But then again, I mean, there have got to be characters who are sort of a bit extrovert, a bit outrageous, because you're obviously trying to entertain people. You're trying to make a programme that people want to watch, and having sort of characters who do strange things is entertaining, I suppose.
Some people tell me that if you watch Grange Hill, it encourages you to behave badly and sets a bad example.
It's like saying, oh, you can't watch this because it's going to make you do this. You can't watch EastEnders because it's going to make you be naughty. You can't watch Grange Hill because it's going to make you be naughty in class. You can't watch this. And it's just stupid because if you're good, then you're hardly going to change bad just because somebody on television is. A lot of people, they don't. I think that the people who say that are mainly adults. I don't think any children say that they behave how people on the television do.
I think the people that are good, they won't change by watching Grange Hill because they know that Grange Hill is all acting and it's not real and that'll never happen.
I've heard from friends who said that some of the things that I did in Grange Hill were sometimes copied at their schools. But, I mean, the things I did really weren't horrible or evil. They were just a bit naughty.
Loads of people say that.
Say what?
that Grange Hill's a bad influence. I know some people that aren't allowed, their children aren't allowed to watch it. If children want to watch Grange Hill, it's up to them really.
Well, it's up to their parents, perhaps.
Well, if their parents think they shouldn't watch it, well, they've got to obey their parents, but I don't think it's a bad influence.
I think if you went to a normal school, just a comprehensive school, and filmed for the whole day what was going on, you'd be surprised. Compared to Grange Hill's mild.
So you do tend to want to idealise school as an adult. And what this programme does is say, no, you can't idealise school. You know, it is composed of real people with warts, real moments of anger, emotion, real moments when the harmony breaks down, when the kind of notion of a pure academy of pure learning just doesn't wash, but it never did.
Do you think children, having seen Grange Hill on a Tuesday or a Friday, will come to school the next day having learned bad habits?
No. I think kids have much more intelligence than that. They can separate television from real life. And certainly if they can't, then certainly in this school they would be reminded that Grange Hill is a TV programme and Ackland Burley is a real school. Time to get down to work.
Island on that one. Island, Sylvia, Angels, Sylvia, Island down there.
I'll see you next Tuesday, all right? See you next Tuesday. John, if I'm joking. No, you're not. Hang on,
Have you got an ambition yet?
I'd like to go into acting, I think. But other than that, I haven't really thought about it.
Have you got an ambition?
Well, I did have an ambition. It was to be on this. But now I've just changed. I'd like to be an astronaut.